Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
When Ted Lasso ended officially, you admitted on the air that you wept.
I did admit that on air.
Cried.
Mm-hmm.
So I was given the DVD series as a gift.
Okay.
And now that the season is over, I finally had an opportunity to watch it. And I did get finally to the 7th and final disc yesterday.
Okay.
It was really good. The whole thing was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was one area where I just absolutely laughed out loud.
Okay.
And it is when they're playing, is it United or City at the end?
They're playing City at the end.
Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
The night before, they have been watching movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're, as a team, they're watching You've Got Mail.
Mm-hmm.
And I started laughing because in 1998, Penn State is in the NIT.
Mm-hmm.
Win the first game, and the second game is going to be at Dayton. But this is when they were redoing the State College Airport.
Okay.
So we can't fly in and out here because they're redoing and lengthening the runway. So we have to go out of Williamsport. So on a Sunday night, we get on the bus up to Williamsport, there's an hour, fly to Dayton. Calvin Booth gets 10 block shots, literally.
Pretty darn good.
Right? It's the last time it's happened here. 10 block shots. Get back on the plane, fly back. This is Monday night. Fly back that Monday night. Get on the bus in Williamsport, bus back, get back about 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. And at that point, I was doing morning radio, in fact, with Jeff Brown, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I get 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm back in at 5:30, like, okay.
A little loopy.
All right. And about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, somewhere around there, because this is before they did brackets in the NIT, I get told that, hey, get ready, quote, we're leaving this afternoon.
Oh, boy.
Because Penn State's going to play Georgia Tech in Atlanta on Wednesday.
Oh, so you got to fly down to Atlanta and yeah.
So, time to get back on the bus. Well, we get back on the bus. And one of the players said, hey, let's watch a movie. So they put in You've Got Mail. Bus up to Williamsport. Now, the trip to Williamsport is not going to be able to allow you to watch the entire movie.
About 45 to an hour.
Right. Get on the plane, fly to Atlanta. By the way, the TV commentator on the game was Magic Johnson, which was really cool.
Pretty awesome.
Penn State wins the game. So now I'm going to go to New York. Fly back to Williamsport. Resume You've Got Mail. Okay.
Another 45 hour.
Right. Come all the way back to the Jordan Center and sit and get into the back parking lot. Nobody leaves the bus because there's about 10 to 12 minutes left in the movie.
Oh, you've got to stay through the end.
And everybody is sitting there watching the end of the movie on the bus. And I'm not talking like there's a couple minutes left. There's like 10, 12, 15 minutes left.
You're in it.
Right? And everybody's just sitting there, right? You know, and all of a sudden Brinkley comes running up and the whole thing, you know how it ends, right? You know, Brinkley's the dog. Right? But when I saw that scene, that's all I could think of was, excuse me, I've lived this. What the heck?
Life imitates reality.
I've lived this.
Or shows imitate reality.
But nobody got off the bus.
I respect the commitment to it.
In other words, I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning again.
Yeah,
Remember,
it is.
Remember, it's not just as simple as you land in State College, you go back, you're done, the whole thing. No. You had to bus over an hour down 220. This is pre I-99. Okay, so it's not as smooth as
it is
today. And I'm watching that last night. I said, "Oh my goodness, I've lived that before." Nobody left the bus. We all waited until Shop Girl found out who Joe Fox really was.
Very nice. You know what? We love that, Steve Jones. Ted Lasso relating to Steve Jones's inner being, his inner self, through You've Got Mail.
So, what was that, 28 years ago? 28
Something like
years
that.
ago. Yeah.
Been a minute.
Yeah. That's one thing that's been incredible about this job is I have a lot of great memories. So
Good.
a lot of
Very
great
nice.
memories. But I'm also somebody who looks forward.
Mm-hmm.
And we will see on the basketball front what they do to move forward.
Yeah. There's a lot of changing pieces.
Just so you know, I took a look. I don't usually look at the rankings of like what some random person puts out about the transfer portal rankings and so forth. But I looked at it. It was on ESPN.com, and they had John Blackwell of Wisconsin was number 2. One guy, like Diallo of
Zoom Diallo was like somewhere in the 20s.
Yeah, from Washington. I'm not really surprised he's going. I was surprised to see Devin Royal's name in there.
He's in.
Burt Buttigieg is not in the top
Yeah.
50, but he put his name in.
Alvaro Fulgeras just entered. I don't believe he's in the top chunk.
Right. Just so everybody knows. I mean, and this is going to tell you what, that it's going to be. I mean, there's going to be tremendous interest. Cade Mingo's 21.
Yeah. He is
as simple as that. I mean, so now, they have to sit down and they have to take a long, hard look at the people they want to bring in here to formulate a team.
Yeah.
And have to construct it around the money they have to operate with. What's difficult about this? Keep going back to collective bargaining. And one of the reasons I keep going back to there's several reasons why I keep going back to collective bargaining, because I think it's the most logical step.
It is.
But part of collective bargaining, as I've pointed out, is how much people are making. Right? We know, like you're sitting there, and X is the highest paid corner in the league. Right? So let's go to defensive ends.
Yeah.
When T.J. Watt, Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, was there somebody else?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett, definitely. So like Myles Garrett, and then his number was surpassed by T.J. Watt, and eventually with Green Bay after the trade, Micah Parsons' number surpassed Watt and Garrett. But we knew where it was at that particular point. And in college sports, and in football and men's basketball, nobody really, you hear through the grapevine
It's all a
what
guessing game.
somebody is getting. But it's through the grapevine. And you don't know if through the grapevine it is an agent throwing out a number that is not true.
Yeah.
But they're trying to show worth, value, something along
Well,
the
it's
way.
like, let's say they're like, hey, Jason Lord's getting $1.5 million. Their incentive may be to say, well, he's getting 1.5, but my other player, he's probably better. He should get more like 2, or he should get more like 3. The number, unless you actually see the contract in your hand, we don't know what people make. And we've had this discussion before of we should see the NIL numbers coming from the university, not from like a Gatorade, a Nike.
Right.
That is separate. That is different. Whatever.
But again, how do you get to that point? Because they're trying to avoid at all costs declaring them as employees of the university. You can't put these numbers out right now. You cannot do that right now because they're students. And there is no union and there are no rules, so you don't know what anybody is making. It's all a guessing game. And sometimes you're bidding against yourself.
Yeah.
like really? you're bidding against yourself because you don't know.
It's a blind bidding war.
I mean, when they come in there and say X, you sit down with an agent. Mm-hmm. Well, X over there is going to give him $2 million. Right? For all we know, X is going to give him $1.2 million. Mm-hmm. But he's trying to get 2.4 out of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In collective bargaining, which again, I don't know how. The part I'm not going to be able to answer. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you get to collective bargaining without making them employees.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's say you get to collective bargaining, you get everything sorted out, and then
because it's not like I've never worked around a union before because I worked 30 years at WPSU TV, mm-hmm. and the audio people were in the Teamsters.
Yeah.
Everybody else was not, but we still had to work around them, and also had to work around their rules too. And sometimes the rules were difficult for us to work around. Mm-hmm. And like, how could it be difficult? In other words, an audio person, the union rule is they have to put a mic on you. Mm-hmm. Well, what if I need something done on Monday and I have a quick turnaround, and there's nobody available? What do? Sneak it on? Mm-hmm. It's like, okay. So how do you do this? And is there a pathway to do it? Because if you're going to be paying money to them, how much money are you paying them? What are they getting? Mm-hmm. I mean, we know, like Patrick Mahomes, I was talking yesterday about, asking for more money, and if somebody's out there, they're asking for what could be about a 30-year budget. How can you justify that? Because in the pros, where they have a cap, mm-hmm. what did Kansas City just do with Patrick Mahomes? They restructured his contract to change
the math
around so they could get more players. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mahomes is still going to get money. He knows it, but he also knows his chance at success as a pro depends on his willingness to reshape. It was the same story with Josh Allen at Buffalo.
Yeah. It's been the same story with across the NFL that, like, I'll say it, the Saints are the first ones to do it, where they had all of the dead money and they had all of the pushing off of money. Yeah. And now we're seeing it go into baseball with the deferred money of the Dodgers, where, like, they're still competitive because Ohtani's number is like $2 million this year, but he's realistically making quote unquote $70 million a season. Like, it is an astronomically high number, but how it's spread out and how it's deferred and how the guarantees work, put it onto certain places of the books that allow you to build a better roster. Right. It's part of it. And in college athletics, that doesn't exist. It is a year-to-year thing. And so I know it's been put out there of like if a player has to sign a 2-year deal or a certain, like, how it works contractually. That's a discussion we don't have specifics on because it will acquire a lot of legal experts and a lot of brain power that we probably don't have for a random Friday morning.
But they have models. Mm-hmm. You're not here to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
You have an NFL model. Mm-hmm. You have an NBA model. You have an NHL model. I don't think you want to use the Major League Baseball model because of the luxury tax part. There are other parts of it that are absolutely usable in Major League Baseball, but not that part of it. And the entire idea of it is to put structure in place mm-hmm. where everybody is operating under the same rules, both players and management. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do it, and let's call it what it is, it's pay for play.
Yeah.
I mean, just get out of the fetal position here. Just admit what it is and move on. Right? And start being forward thinkers when you already have models out there mm-hmm. that at least show you how you can make it workable. The element that's you're not quite sure about is, do you make them employees? That's the part, that I know they're really resistant to, which I do understand, because mm-hmm. It's kind of hard to look at a student, right, and say they're an employee. Like, Like, yeah, we're sitting there in class, employee to employee. What the heck?
Yeah.
But
there's got to be some sort of, there's something has to be done. And also,
but I just don't feel like they're trying.
No. And you mentioned.
They keep trying the same avenue over and over again. Mr. President, help us out. Congressman, congressperson, help me out. Senator, help me out. Right? Why don't you help yourself? Right? Okay. Coaches talk to their players all the time about leadership, accountability, right? Taking care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. You have an overarching organization over all this that rarely shows accountability, rarely shows leadership, and has a history of not taking care of little things, and then big things become a problem. That's the organization that is leading you.
Yeah.
Monetarily, they're great in terms of like doling out money. The Big Ten this year is going to get nearly $70 million in NCAA basketball tournament money. $70 million.
That's what happens when Michigan goes to the finals and Illinois gets to the Final Four, and you have four teams make the Elite Eight.
Well, it's not just the finals. They won. Okay?
They get the extra bit.
You get $350,000 per round. Oh, by the way, you're the winner. You get a seventh $350,000. Okay, and UCLA and women's basketball was the same way because of that $70 million, about $5.5 million of it is from the women's tournament under their new deal. And remember, these numbers roll over for 6 years.
So it's going to continue for a while. So it's $10 million a year basically for the Big Ten.
Right. So when I'm talking about like when Penn State got in 3 years ago, they won a round. Well, that $700,000 was actually in reality $4.2 million for the Big Ten.
Every year you get that number.
Yes, for 6 years.
It's a lot of money, and that is from the Big Ten, from the men's basketball side. You said women's basketball. I'm guessing it's the same. It works the same way for other sports. So where it doesn't, just for those two.
No.
So not for the Frozen Four.
No.
Was my question. Okay.
No,
different.
That doesn't exist. Okay. There's no. Okay. The only ones. Okay. College football playoff, which will go from round by round. I think Penn State, when they were in a year ago, brought the Big Ten something like 17 or 18 million or something like that.
Okay.
And Ohio State was like 21, 22. Starting this year, every school in the Big Ten gets a flat fee of $21 million.
Okay.
Whether you win no games or you're actually playing in the national championship, everybody will get 21. Every SEC team will get, I think, 22, 23. You're like, well, why are they getting more? They have 16 schools. Okay, so their money is divided by 16,
it's same,
not by 18.
The same total number, it's just less divided.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's how that'll work. The NCAA men's tournament will continue. I think eventually at 350 we'll get to 400 or something like that through an escalator.
Yeah.
And for the women's tournament, I think next year they earn a little bit less, but in 28 it goes up, right? Because they're trying to balance out where they are with the $65 million a year. Everybody else gets, when it comes to other sports, you essentially get travel and hotel, and it's how you spend it.
Okay.
It's not, there's no, like Penn State wins the NCAA wrestling championship, but I'm trying to remember. I thought the largest number I ever saw in NCAA distribution for them on that line was $48,000.
It's travel, hotel, food, and whatever else.
And the same thing with men's Frozen Four. I mean, even though we're watching it on TV, they're not. It's football and men's basketball essentially allow you to have all these other sports because whatever profits are made, it's supposed to be a nonprofit operation. You know, nonprofit meaning if you can have if you can run and operate in the black, I don't care if it's $2 million, $5 million, whatever. That's a rainy day fund. You just kind of like.
Well, I saw UNC, I think, put out their number and it was 0 because what they spent, they then earned. Like it was they quote unquote exact amounted it, whatever else. But that's the point is you're not going to try and.
You have certain schools like South Carolina, Rutgers, UConn, where the numbers come out exactly even. Like they come out exactly even. And again, you don't know how much they're getting from the university to get it to even because Rutgers has had to take money from the university to get it to even.
I believe Wisconsin, a bill just passed where the university's getting, I think, $14.6 million per year. I think it's partially to cover debt, but it's gonna
look. And there's and look, Penn State's doing it, the addition at Beaver Stadium. And look, there'll be debt service on that and so forth. But the idea is to pay it back. I mean, it was when they put the upper deck on the north end, the old one. In 1991, they took out a mortgage on it, and they paid it off.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's like it's what they did.
Yeah.
So the money. So this is why I try to tell people all the time: intercollegiate athletics is incredibly expensive. And when they see, for example, said sports sell out. Oh, they must be raking in money. No, they're losing money because if you don't have the media deals, I mean the wrestling championship, for example, has set a record. They had 711,000 viewers for the finals. That's a record.
It's huge,
right? They were at 452,000. Even 3 years ago, they were down that low.
Yeah, it's exploded up.
And they had over 700,000 last year, like 702. They had 711 this year, so that's a record. So the popularity of it is great. The women's Final Four saw a decrease, but still really good numbers. Really good numbers, even though it's falling back. I mean, look, everybody knew it was going to happen. And then the men's Final Four on TBS set records.
Yeah.
On TBS.
This is not saying this was not them being on an ESPN or CBS. Like one of the premieres was TBS, a secondary.
And they had 18.5 million viewers.
And imagine if it was on a CBS or an ESPN at that point. That is even bigger.
Which, by the way, is a distinct possibility moving forward because in the media world, CBS Paramount is in the process of attempting to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, which is Turner. Well, if it is allowed to go through, they can put it wherever. They can put it on CBS and TBS at the same time if they want. Just like Monday Night Football occasionally is on both ABC and ESPN. Yeah. And I'm going to be. I think the Super Bowl next year, which is ESPN,
it's ESPN's first.
It's going to be on ABC as well.
It will.
They can't afford to just say it's on cable.
Yeah. Well, I know for the Super Bowl it's different because it's rotated.
Yeah.
But see, the Paramount, CBS, Warner, whatever company it ends up being named, can do something similar where they rotate which platform they put it on or put it on all of them.
Right.
Because spoiler, they have options now.
Right.
Speaking of transfer portal stuff, Steve Jones, a few names have already committed to other locations, so I just want to kind of run through that real fast. So the names that have committed, the bigger ones, I know players returning. Brendan Frager is going back to Nebraska. I believe he was sixth man of the year in the Big Ten.
He was, and really, really a good player. Like any freshman, he got out to a hot start, got banged up, slumped. Then once he got into February, game picked back up again and played really well. Good player. They lose Buttigieg.
Yeah, but they make the addition of Sam Orm from Belmont. He's a power forward, 6'9", about 40% three-point shooter, which is an NBA level number.
Sure,
so if you can get to that in the Big Ten, you're sitting pretty.
Sure.
Other players who have committed, Filip Jovic is going from Auburn to UCLA. Power forward. You then had Miles Byrd, the small forward from San Diego State, who's a more defensive presence, going to Providence. Alongside him is Westchester Knicks guard Dink Pate. He is someone who was in the G League Ignite. He was the last round of it. He was 17 at the time. He then went to the G League, has not taken any 2-way or 10-way deals that have been offered to him because he wanted to maintain his eligibility. He is 20 years old. So for those saying, oh, he's a 25-year-old guy who was drafted, it's a different situation with him. Yes, he went 50th, but he has not taken a two-way, not taken a 10-day. He's basically been developing like an overseas player does just in the U.S.
Yep.
And then alongside all of that, Elliot Cadeau is going to return to Michigan, and Michigan assigned Tennessee power forward center J.P. Estrella. Yep. So that is the latest transfer portal news.
Again, I am in favor of this. You play 5 years.
This is the new proposal out there. Let's discuss that real fast. Just get that piece out there, which is when you turn 19, you have a 5-year eligibility clock is what they're proposing.
It's actually one of two.
Okay.
It's whenever your high school graduation date is or 19, whichever is earliest.
So it's like the NBA where you have to be 1 year out of high school.
So that means that you're 18, you get to 23. The 19-year-old part deals with mostly European or foreign players, European, Australian, New Zealand, whatever country you get them from, Japan, and that's and say for example, in his case, he's 20. Now, this rule would not affect him. I mean, anybody signing now, it's not going to affect you.
Yeah, this is it'll go into effect with the first class when it's done. So that first class will then get affected.
But we'll use him as an example. Right? He would have 3 years of eligibility because they're capping it at 24.
Yeah.
He's 20 now. I think he turns 21.
He does.
Right before the season. Well, so you get to play as a 21, 22, and 23. He's done.
And
I see. That's the difference.
It's interesting.
I go out and say, I want to sign a 22-year-old. I've got 2 years with him. That is it. He does not get 5 years. When it comes to the draft, with the expanded numbers that you're allowed scholarship-wise, which is 15 now for men's basketball. Women's basketball has been 15 the entire time. Men's basketball has been 13.
And now it's 15.
Now it's 15. Hardly anybody carries 15. So I always laugh and say, how come Penn State doesn't have 15? Well, I said, nobody else does.
It's usually what, like 10 to 13, somewhere in that
12,
ballpark?
12, 13.
Yeah.
Most schools are 12, 13. Easier for you to work with. Plus you have walk-ons. And money distribution. Instead of distributing money among 15, you're distributing among 12 or 13. Right? I mean, that works into it. That's why the SEC has capped their scholarship at 85, and then you can add on 20 walk-ons to get 105 because you can pay more money to 85 as opposed to spreading it out over 105. It's like there's a basic. There's simple math and like a lot of there's simple math that goes with it. So let's expand upon that. You put your name into the draft.
Okay.
To me, you get drafted, you are done. Don't pull this like, I don't want to go play for the Utah Jazz. Like you went through the process, you made your choice, you're done. You got drafted. You go undrafted. I open the door and keep the door open for you to come back and play college basketball. And it doesn't mean you have to come back to Penn State and play
but you were basically,
basketball. You could play only, but you went undrafted.
And then you keep your same status you had when you left. So let's say you went in after playing 3 years and you're 22 at this point or 21, whatever. Let's say you're 21 years old. You have 2 years of eligibility left at that point. You can go back. You have 2 years, but you're entered into the portal.
Right. And most schools go back to practicing their 8 weeks in the summertime right around June 15 to 20. And the draft is right around 25, 26. But, this person's been working out anyway. They've been working out for teams and the whole thing. They haven't been just, drinking pina coladas on the beach just waiting to be drafted. They've been working out the entire time for teams, interviews with teams, and so forth. And if you go undrafted, I'm okay with you going back to play college basketball. Yeah. I have no problem with that. Right? But if you do get drafted, you're done.
As soon as you sign that dotted line saying, I'm going to play for an NBA team, or your name is in the draft, that's when you're automatically out of it. Because there's a lot of players who will sign the undrafted deals. So it's like at that point you have the option of, do you want to go to the NCAA for another year or two? Or are you going to commit to signing for the Westchester Knicks and going to play for the Knicks G League team.
Right.
What are you going to do? But as soon as you're entered,
Again,
you're done.
I would give more leeway on that. Football's more difficult because of the time of the year.
Yeah.
And it's
So the NBA draft, for those wondering, June 25th, 26th. So it's the end of
close.
June. It's right around the time. But that's the point, is that, let's say...
it's 10 days after. And believe me, them missing 2 or 3 weeks of summer workouts.
Yeah.
I mean,
Their bodies are up to speed. They have to learn the system, but that's a little easier. They have to do it anyway in the NBA.
Right.
They have to go get drafted to learn the system.
now, the difficulty they may run into is that you have committed your money. Where do I find the money for you?
Yeah.
I mean, that becomes the difficulty.
But that becomes part of the discussion of, do I want to go into the draft, is what we've talked about with like Yannick Niederhauser, where last season he goes through the process, has said either I'm going to come back to Penn State or I'm going to the draft, gets through far enough, and he gets essentially, I can't confirm this, I don't know, but he gets essentially the commitment of, we're going to try and take you 30 or
Now,
in the first round.
Now, if you've hit the 5 years,
Yeah,
you are done.
exactly.
You are done.
But in his case,
I strongly recommend you start learning Italian.
yeah, but in his case, he's given the option of either come back to Penn
Or
State,
French.
going to the draft. He's given the option. He then gets essentially the commitment of, we're going to pick you. He then goes through the process, is then picked, commits to not coming back. But let's say the Clippers don't pick him 30. Let's say he does go through the process, does not get drafted. He then can come back for, I believe he would have had another year of eligibility.
Right. I don't want those players hung out to dry.
Yeah.
Especially now that we've expanded. Again, now there's actually room
Yeah.
at the inn. It was Spike Albrecht playing for Michigan. When they played Louisville in the national championship game, Spike had 17 points in the first half. It was a terrific performance. He gets to his 4th year, his senior year. The early signing period comes up. Michigan, John Beilein commits all of his scholarships, including Spike's, because Spike's done. He's a senior. 8th game of the year, hurts his hip. He's out for the rest of the year. Michigan doesn't have a scholarship for him for the next year. So he ended up transferring to play his 5th year at Purdue. That rarely, if ever, happens. Now with the expansion to 15, there would actually be room for him at the inn. And then it becomes his decision and Michigan's decision, do you keep him, so forth. But I would try to craft rules in such a way where there is structure, but also some leeway, because I always think it's important for you to show some level of like generosity and a heart about this.
And that's what feels like the middle ground, where you're saying if a player goes undrafted, that they then have the option of coming back. And as you said, most teams carry 12 to 13. Doesn't mean they're against carrying 14 or against carrying 15. So it means there's wiggle room. So let's say...
But where do you find the money?
Exactly. Right. Where do you find the money? But let's say you're going through the process. You're Kyle F. You're going through the process. I think I'm going to go in the second round maybe, but I don't get drafted in the second round. I don't get to 55. I'm stuck, whatever. But I'm a really good player in college. I can then opt to go back. And then let's say university is like, we can get you the scholarship, but maybe not the NIL piece of it. Like, it gives you the ability to go in, and let's say you can earn the NIL throughout the season. We've seen it all the time with players where they get NIL deals. Heck, you see it in the NCAA tournament. Someone signs an NIL deal in the middle of it. We saw it, I think, 3 years ago with St. Peter's, where Doug Edert signed a Buffalo Wild Wings deal the day after St. Peter's won their game. He had this huge Buffalo Wild Wings deal. It happens all the time. So if you're a good enough player, at some point you have to also partially bet on yourself of like, I can improve, I can get better, and I can make the money back that I probably missed out on by not staying in college the extra year at the start. And I've got to trust that.
And I mean, I would throw that leeway in there, and then I would really have to think long and hard about how do I do the football part.
The football piece is a little more difficult.
It's more difficult because of the time of the year.
Yes. And added into it is you have to be there 3 years. piece.
Yes, you already have to be there 3 years
Yeah.
to begin with. The NBA, you've got to be 1 year and 19 years of age.
The NBA, it's 1 year, 19 years of age. So a lot of these players are already done after the season. That's why the one and done is a thing. In college, it's different because of the 3 year.
Yeah.
That's why I find some form of maybe not a 2 year deal, but like there's got to be something to make it so. I see this happen a lot, and I want your thoughts on this. Of there are a lot of players, especially you see it in college basketball, where they will enter, and you're like, what are you entering the portal for? A lot of players enter. Sometimes I get it when a player enters because, hey, I'm probably not going to get the starting role on my team again next year, but I know I'm a starter. Let's say you're a sixth man, and you're the
I
great
ain't starting, I'm departing.
Exactly. That happens, but there are a lot of players who are further down who enter the portal, and then they end up in the exact same spot on another roster. And then it happens again and again.
Okay.
And we've discussed the idea of being built up within an organization for a few years. I just kind of want your thought on it of like, how do we help? I'm trying to find a way to help these young men and young women understand like, and how to grow and how to become better players, better people, and not just bounce around to the same situation for 4 years. I want to find a way to help them get better.
They have outside influences, especially family. I mean, family. And I'm not saying that they're all looking at their children as the meal ticket, but like there are family pressures in all of this. I had the sister of one of the football players ask me in class a while back, what do you look for and how do you pick an agent? And I told her that you're lucky in that your brother is at Penn State and plays football at Penn State, because now there is a network of individuals that all have agents out there that are playing professional football. And they can tell you, my guy's good, my guy is shaky, shady. I had to change guys because of, right? So you have a network that will tell you who has a good reputation, who the former Penn State players trust. You can tell by how long they've been with their agents. I said, and that's what you do is you tap into the network. In today's world, which is exponentially different than the world of 5 years ago, where everybody now has an agent. So, for example, you're a terrific player. Doesn't matter if it's basketball or football. Jason Lord's your agent. I'm just using his name as an example.
This is a name.
Right? And he's in it as an agent, but he's not Drew Rosenhaus. He's not Lee Steinberg. He's not Scott Boras. The question I always have about somebody like that is, what is he looking to get out of it when their job should be in your best interest? Are they just trying to get their 3% somewhere? And really deep down, hey, look, I negotiated this great contract for you. And sometimes the player ends up in a spot with a coaching staff they're not crazy about. They end up in a spot, like the grass wasn't greener, but the agent got his or her 3%. And when you have literally thousands of new clients out there, potential new clients, how hard is your agent working for you, and how hard is your agent working for themselves? And that's a difficult one. That's why if you can get in with a network of people that can tell you good, bad, and different, that's one of the keys to an agent. Because believe me, they'll come through the woodwork for you. They'll be showing up in high school. Hey, I can help you out. I can negotiate. Hey, I got a great deal for it. Boom, 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 boom. You did, really. All right. and you know nothing about them, right? And you should go in the portal. We'll get you more money.
And that is something the money piece is, and we're not going to discuss specific players, specific pieces.
Because remember, you can go to the portal,
Yeah.
I can get you more money. That means I get more money.
Exactly. And it feels like a lot of the time it is viewed as I should go where the money is. And you see it a lot in pros where that isn't as big of a case, because a lot of players will either be like, I would take less to go and try and win a championship, or I'll take less to go to a situation I feel more comfortable in.
Sure.
Because the professional players have more of they have more of an idea of what they're walking into. They understand there's only 30 some odd organizations, and they know, okay, I'm going to the Thunder. Like, I know what I'm walking into in that situation. I know where I'm in the pecking order. I know how it's going to work. I know I can try and win a championship. Yeah, I'll take less money. Can I get more going to Chicago? Maybe. But I'd rather go do this. A lot of players,
Or they
it
may
feels
sit
like,
back and say, I want more and go to Chicago because I only have X amount of time on my playing clock. I want to maximize how much money I get.
Exactly. There's options, optionality. A lot of the time we see it, especially in the NCAA world, where a lot of the time if a player stays, it's because either they got the number they feel comfortable with, or it's a situation they love and want to come back to and try and win. We saw it a lot last year with Penn State players. They came back with the goal of trying to win.
Sure.
Could a lot of those players have gotten more leaving? There's a chance.
Sure.
I'm not going to say it's zero, but there's a chance.
Sure.
And you see it a lot this offseason of players in football and basketball leaving or having the option to leave, where it's less of a jumping for opportunity and jumping for money. And sometimes the difference between 3.5 and 3 million may be a lot to some people.
Sure.
But if you are getting that amount of money, you probably have prospects of going professional, of going to the next level. Because if you're going to make that much money in the college side, chances are you're really good at your job.
Well, let's go back to the original part of the conversation. So let's go all the way back. One thing about college that's different in pros is that Patrick Mahomes is sitting there in Kansas City, and he knows exactly what Josh Allen is making. Josh Allen knows exactly what Lamar Jackson is making in his contract with the Ravens. It's out there. The numbers are out there. We're talking about earlier about the MVP. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, and Jaylen Brown all know what their respective contracts say because they're in a collective bargaining agreement. In college, we got John Blackwell, $5 million to go, whatever. Like, you did? You got $5 million? What? It's like, you don't know if he did.
No.
You know he probably got a
good chunk of change.
But you don't know how much he got. And that's all part of one of the issues is that because there's no structure, it's so willy-nilly, people can make all sorts of claims, including how much is our roster. And some reporters have done a great job of trying to figure out numbers, like Kentucky's $22 million.
Indiana's here.
BYU's up in the 30s. I mean, what was weird about Mark Pope in the NCAA tournament is when it was brought up, he kept trying to deny it, but kept dancing around it where you thought to yourself, it's got to be pretty close. Right? It's like, is it a failure that you paid $22 million and you only won a round in overtime? But you will have some schools float numbers about how much they're paying out. Like, whoa. Right? I mean, see, it works both ways. And again, you can do all of this on both ends because there is no structure.
Nope.
And you can't do anything by putting out how much a student athlete is making. They're not an employee, so you can't do that right now.
No.
But you then have to make that hard and fast decision, going back to the original point of, okay, if we do collective bargaining, is it possible to do this without making them employees, or is the only way to do it is by making them employees? And that I don't know, because right now you have it's not just Penn State. Like Northwestern, for example, their roster's decimated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and who knows?
They've lost like half their guys.
Who knows what people are telling these kids? Who knows what they're being told? And they may have great agents, and they're being told straight, direct stuff, and they may be told stuff they like.
But what is Trey Singleton hearing? What is Jaden Reed hearing? What are they being told? Like, hey, we can get you this. Okay, but where am I getting the money from? That's my piece of it. If you are going into the portal and you are someone who, let's say you're a really good prospect, you need another year to really build in college basketball, and then you get that year, like Yannick Niederhauser. I'm a really good prospect. I have a shot, I think, to go to the pros. Let me go to a program where I can make a decent money and also grow myself under Brent Scott to get myself to the first round of the NBA draft. That's huge.
Right.
He found the situation and the money, and it worked well. A lot of players go into the portal, and they think the money's what comes first. The program is maybe secondary.
Well, remember, the person negotiating for them, what goes first for them?
The money.
Exactly.
It's
because they get the 3%.
There has to be some sort of feeling out process, and I understand that these are young adults. They are they're between 18 and 23 for the most part, somewhere in that ballpark. Like, there's only so much knowledge they have, which is why they do need a lot more resources to be able to help them understand what they're walking through, because
and their families are going through it for the first time too.
And it is a difficult process, a crazy process, because like you have 2 weeks to decide if you're going to enter the portal. You have 2 weeks to figure it out. But realistically, you probably know at the end of the year what you're doing. But everyone's on these 1-year deals, so it's just a game of musical chairs the entire time.
But they aren't just on 1-year deals, because if you notice, 2 of the high profile, like, had to go to court, were on 2-year deals.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like, you're on a 1-year deal with all of these guys playing musical chairs, and then a few of them that had 2-year deals then get out of it through these different ways and means. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
I just want there to be some sort of accountability is not the word, just some sort of, as we've discussed, structure to where these kids are supported and the programs are supported. There's a way to marry it all to where everyone wins, where the players can feel like they're getting support and they can make an educated decision. Of course, there are going to be outliers here and there that are going to make a decision for the money, maybe not for the growth possibility. And that decision is going to get made. It's never a zero. It's impossible to be a zero, but it's got to happen somewhere. It's got to start somewhere.
We'll see.
We'll see where it gets to.
I think you wanted to talk about the Masters today.
I did. So Masters Day 1 wrapped up yesterday. Yeah. I believe Rory McIlroy was tied for the lead alongside Sam Burns. You then had Kitayama, Jason Day, Patrick Reed right behind at 69. So a couple shots back. As of this moment, right now it looks like Sam and Rory are still tied for the lead. Wyndham Clark is 2 under for the day. So is Brooks Koepka. So they're surging on up to 2 under throughout.
Yeah.
Rory tees off at 144 today. Patrick Reed 108. Xander Schauffele 120. So a lot happening in the Masters.
Yeah.
And there are rumors out there that a team in professional sports is going to do what the Masters do, of no phones. I don't know how that's going to work in professional sports in terms of an NBA arena, an NFL stadium. I don't know how that'll work, but let's say it happens.
See, the Masters is interesting, is that they have total control over everything with the tournament, including all their TV deals with CBS, which is now in year 70. 70 years out of the 90 are all 1-year contracts. A 1-year contract means that you maintain control. How many minutes do you have for commercials? Now, say what you want about membership of the club or history of the club, whatever. That club is the definition in today's world of taking care of all the little things, and the big things take care of themselves. They'll go along and with scissors to trim grass around bushes. Scissors? Okay. Every divot. Okay? Every divot on the golf course overnight is replaced and looks pristine the next day. Like players, like they marvel, like, you know, we all hit here at 16, we all hit off the tee at, you know, the day before, you know, they moved to a different tee. Says, we couldn't even tell that there was that we took any shots on the previous tee. Right? They do all of these things. They keep their prices down for concessions. Very much in the and Mercedes-Benz don't, by the way, you know, Arthur Blank did the same thing there. That's why when I told everybody before the Peach Bowl, don't worry about spending money at the game. Their concessions are
as low as they can get
right?
them.
Well, it's the same thing at Augusta National.
I can get pimento cheese. I think is $1.50 is the number.
Right.
Like the most expensive item's $3 on the menu.
Sounds
incredible.
Sounds about right. But they have rules, and one of them is no cell phones. Right? And you know, and it's their club. Mark Calcavecchia, a former champion, was thrown off the grounds because he had a cell phone. I think that's difficult to do because it's become such a part of people checking their phones. They want, in other words, if I want to look at the leaderboard at Augusta National, I have to look at a board. I can't pick up my phone and go, okay, let's go to Masters.com. Oh, okay, so it's Sam Burns and Rory McIlroy at 5 under par. I can't do that.
No.
And the next part is you're talking about saying that you want to ban it from the arena or the stadium. I'm not saying you're saying that. You just brought it up. Right? How difficult is that to do in a world where gambling is legalized? And I'm not big on prop bets, like as the game's being played. As the game's being played, I'm not big on prop bets. If you want to make a prop bet before the game, you know, you can do whatever you want. It's your money. But you'll have people
in arena sitting there on their phones
making a prop bet that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to hit a three-pointer in the fourth quarter. So it becomes difficult because all these leagues have agreements with the people we're talking about, DraftKings, FanDuel, whomever it may be. So I think that part becomes very difficult for them. MGM Bet.
Yeah. DraftKings, whomever else, like it's all there.
And that's where banning a cell phone. I'll give you also one other example. People want their cell phones to take pictures of the event. Hey, we were at the game. Boom. Take a picture. If you ever want to see an interesting picture, it's two pictures. You'd have to see them side by side. All right? To really understand the difference in today's society with a cell phone. And Secretariat won the Triple Crown in 1973. And when you watch it, what you see is everybody standing and cheering and standing and cheering and yeah, way to go. Right? The picture on Sports Illustrated, everybody cheering. Okay? Hands in the air. American Pharoah wins in 2016. Same angle of the shot. Everybody's standing there like this with their camera, with their phones, showing the American Pharoah coming home. Same thing with Justify when Justify was able to win in 18. Right?
It is.
Right?
People want to rewatch history
or to prove to the world they were there. I was there. Look at the great shot I got. I mean, there are probably people that are walking around Augusta National that wish they had their cell phone so they could take a picture of, pick one, Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, driving on 15, the par 5.
Or they want to be able to be next to Bubba Watson when he's hitting his shot around the corner.
Can't do
where
that.
They're there with him. No.
Can't do that. But it's there. But you are a private club. Your rules. And that's the ball game. It's their rules.
Yeah. I would love to find a way to maybe make like some playoff games or something in a sport where it's like you can't have your phone. Like that would be really interesting if they're able to do that with the league and the teams to where it's like, let's say the wild card round of the NFL playoffs is no phone, or let's say the Final Four, no phone. Like whatever it ends up being, if that's a possibility.
Everybody's attached to it.
That's the thing, is we're all attached to our phones.
And what if there's an emergency?
Exactly. That's the...
if there's an emergency, whether it's an emergency with you, around you, or a family friend emergency away from the course and you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think it's possible for a secondary location game, like a neutral site. I don't think it's possible for, let's say, Penn State's playing Purdue for basketball, and you have it here in State College. It's a little more difficult because, like, a lot of people are from the town, live here. Like, realistically, for the Masters, not a lot of the individuals going to watch live in Augusta. So they're traveling. At that point, you can't handle an emergency anyway. You are 150, 200 miles away.
Something that is a hard and fast rule for me when broadcasting a game. I mean, you've worked with me. What don't I have out during the game?
Your phone.
Ever. I get so many text messages, like after a football, especially after a football game. I'll get them after a basketball game too. Like people trying to communicate with you during the game. I have no idea until we're done with the post-game show. I don't have the phone in front of me.
Yeah. And I can attest to this. I've seen it during football, during basketball. During basketball, you're looking at stats, you're looking at numbers, you're looking at other scores. You literally don't pull up anything else. It's just that.
And I look at other scores because we have a segment on other scores, so I have to do it.
You have to know what's going on.
In other words, my job is to lock in on exactly what is in front of me. It is not to sit there and look at my phone and get distracted by it. Okay, so the phone is not only in the bag; it's off. Right? And Jack's the same way, and Dick's the same way. I mean, I've seen Dick once in a while, once in a while in the pregame show or something, but not during the game. And Jack never has his out, his phone out ever. And it's just a hard and fast rule. I don't want the distraction of that because that's not my job to be distracted. That it falls to me under the category of take care of the little things and the big things take care of themselves. Now, Brian Tripp in the pregame show will take out his phone because that's when they put out the injury report 2 hours before the game, and Brian will read off the phone in questionable out. Right? That's part of the broadcast, but that's his job on the broadcast to do that. After that, I'm pretty sure he puts it away too. But that's all. People, believe me, the number of text messages I have at the end of a game,
astronomical.
Football, basketball. I can't believe you didn't answer me. I'm like going, no. It's like,
a little busy.
Like in the parking lot, yes. During the game, I don't want that out in front of me. You as a fan do not have that responsibility. You're just there to have the enjoyment of it. And if part of it is looking at your phone, so be it. I'm thrilled you bought the ticket. I'm thrilled you paid for the parking. I'm thrilled you're paying for the concessions. You're there. You're trying to be a part of it and so forth. And if part of it means you're on your phone, that's perfectly great with me. My job is to not be on my phone, to be locked in on that because I'm working.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with Steve Jones.